we are once again.
Here we go. You know who we are, right? You think so?
Way sauce.
That's us. What are you scared of
That is
something?
the acronym.
Brendan, Sam.
Yeah.
Did it on purpose. Johnny.
Walker.
Santa. Johnny Walker.
Top shelf Johnny Walker.
I'm Sam. He's Brendan. What are you scared of something? Way sauce. Back with another movie review. Today's movie is
Companion.
This is my companion. The ducks are his companion. So, yeah. He's tired.
We got a lot of good companions with us.
We do. Yep. So this movie came out recently. Do you know the exact date that it came out?
No idea. Because my phone recording right now, boy. It's all up to you.
Well, we saw Nosferatu the day it came out, which was December 25th. So
Yeah, what?
It
Did
came
we
out
see it on
recent-
opening day or no?
I think so. Yeah. Yeah. No, I
Companion?
remember.
Oh, no, I
No,
meant
no.
Companion. There's no way.
No, Nosferatu.
That'd be such a coincidence.
That would be. When the freak was this released?
It came out
January 31st.
1922.
January 31st. That's pretty good.
January 31st.
Not too far back. So we were pretty close to that.
We're right
one.
on it.
Yeah, right on it. So this movie stars Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher. You might know Sophie Thatcher from Heretic, which Brendan reviewed. How was she in that?
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
She's like the main girl.
Oh.
Yeah, she is.
Okay.
I don't want to say too much because you got to see it.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
You
I
gotta
didn't
see
see it. He did a solo review on that one. So it was written and directed by Drew Hancock, not the guy who signed the Declaration of Independence. You guys might have been thinking that. I know I did. So Zach Cregger was one of the producers who also produced Barbarian, which I definitely see some like similarities in the way it was shot and like the big reveal.
To Barbarian.
Yeah, to Barbarian.
Yes.
Yeah.
Big
like
time.
it's definitely
BT.
similar,
As we say in the biz.
The biz, the podcast biz. Barbarian was our first ever review, so definitely similar vibes. So it was kind of cool to. It was like a cool nostalgia. We're like, oh, Barbarian, yeah.
Yeah, the twist to this one was very similar. I was like, oh shit, what just happened?
Well, I saw the trailer and I knew that it was kind of about her being a robot, but the way that it was presented to us, the shock was just so great.
Yeah.
And it's so
eyes rolled back. Scary.
he literally just goes, "Go to sleep." What's her name?
Iris.
Go to sleep.
Goo Goo Dolls. Oh yeah. You thought I was good at burping.
He's got. You can't see him. He's got the gold medal under it in the Sochi Olympics. It's a winter sport, believe it or not.
It is.
But the way it was revealed, I think, was a lot similar to the big reveal in Barbarian, which was the guy Bill Skarsgård wasn't the
Evil
villain
man
in the
that we
movie.
thought he was going to be.
But that's such good writing to think like the entire time that it's going to be him as the bad guy. But it's not. It's very interesting how it's a twist so early on in a movie.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I would love to watch Barbarian and see the exact time that the twist was revealed, and I bet it's very similar to this movie because I assume both movies are like 90 minutes.
Well, maybe
so it's
like
probably
20,
like
25 minutes.
I was gonna say that. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. And what was I just gonna say? Oh yeah. As it started, like I was like, let me guess, like the boyfriend's in a cult and like he never told her, and then she's meeting his friends for the first time, and
Right.
like she's kind of nervous, or she's met them before, I guess, but like this time they're like away, and because she says Cat doesn't like me or something.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, it's probably like some cult, and the boyfriend hasn't told her anything, blah blah blah, and then they just say, go to sleep,
Go
boy.
to sleep. Hey, you go to sleep. And it's interesting. I want to watch it again because, like, to go back and see, because it's always cool to go back and read or go back and see things after you know the twist. Because remember the girl, I think her name was Kat, when she opens the door, and she's just only talking to him, and then he's like, "Hey."
Oh yeah.
And she's like,
yeah.
"Oh right.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm supposed to talk to your fucking robot girlfriend." But like we relate to her.
Yeah.
Because you're like, hey. Because in the beginning, you feel for Iris.
Yeah.
You're like, man, she's got like a lot of emotion. Seems like a lot of feelings towards like him and his friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Sorry, which is great.
Yep.
But you're like like automatically you attach yourself to Iris, and you're like, bitch, say hello. But then you look at it, you're like, yeah, why the fuck would you say hello to your girlfriend, or your robot girlfriend?
Yeah, we should probably watch it again. It's probably like that reminds me of the second time I ever watched Get Out. You've never seen that one either, though.
I'm bad.
Yeah, that's even crazier the second time you watch it.
All right.
Because you keep seeing like all these weird things, and you're just like, what the fuck?
What the f?
So I wonder if in this one you'd be like, oh yeah, she's the only one that doesn't have a robot, right? Or except the Russian guy.
Sergey.
Oh, Sergey's with her.
So it's
Yeah.
The gay guy, the main guy, and that's it. But it's interesting because now I'm like going back and thinking about that scene because he's like, hey, like say hello, and it's like the only reason he's there is because they're doing this like heist, this murder heist type deal. Because any other situation, I'd be like, first of all, I wouldn't be hanging out. Like if you had a robot girlfriend, I don't know if I'd talk to you much. That'd be very strange. But then, and if we were hanging out, I'd be like, oh, right, hello, you're not fucking real.
Yeah, exactly. She has a very normal reaction, like to Iris showing up. But in the beginning, we're like, oh, wow, this girl's really a dick.
Yeah. You know what's interesting is I'm thinking about it. It's like, I mean, it's very relatable to the times with AI and stuff like that. And I had some similarities with Ex Machina, too. But, like, I don't know. Could you argue that Iris is, like, the most normal one?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because she's not greedy.
Yeah.
She's in love and she cares about him too much, but that's because she's programmed that way.
Yeah.
And she's nice, has, like, no ill feelings or whatever. But it's interesting, too, because, like, she's a robot, but she's so similar to, like, the way human beings react. Like, when they're dancing and she's, like, looking at the other girl, and
yeah, she gets jealous.
Like, she gets super jealous. So there's jealousy. So that part of her is like a little like a human, but
it is crazy. The whole time watching the movie, I was thinking to myself like, oh my god, what if there's like if we have this in the future and they do become like sentient and then like able to freaking just be like us, but you know. And we could just program it. How would you be able to tell the difference?
I don't know. Yeah, it's not fun.
That's the simulation theory right there.
Yeah.
We're all like there's aliens with freaking VR on right now.
Yeah.
And they're controlling us.
Right, or like controllers. But well, yeah, it's always very similar to like Twilight Zone too. It was relatable to the times because most of it was about like nuclear bombs and stuff like that. And robots, but now it's like way more prevalent.
It's not too far off now. It could be in a couple of years, which is really
pretty
weird.
much, yeah. But I don't know how they would have like actual, because she's like, wait, I'm a robot. I don't know if they would be that self-aware, but who the fuck knows?
It's so funny. I was just watching like a bunch of maybe it's because of this movie, but like I've been looking into consciousness.
Oh, don't even.
Like on YouTube, like I've just been watching videos, like what is consciousness? How does one tell that it's conscious and stuff like that?
Oh, that's too deep.
But I wonder if it stemmed from watching this movie because all of a sudden I've just been all on it and like they were saying like does for example like does an octopus know it's an octopus swimming in the water and does a spider know that it's a spider just making a web? Like obviously we know we're human beings, but then all of a sudden if a robot said it, that would be even crazier.
An octopus is an alien, so there's that.
They're mega smart.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw the trailer and sort of figured it out what it would be about, but not really. I was still surprised. I thought the acting was great. You hate the boyfriend?
Yeah.
Similar to Midsummer. Yeah. I don't know. Think about it. Who do you dislike more? I don't know. This guy's pretty dicky.
Oh, as compared to the Midsummer?
Yeah, the guy in Midsummer doesn't care, and he's just like stringing her along, and the only reason he's still in that relationship is because her sister killed her parents and herself.
Yeah,
and he
feels trapped.
The Swedish guy invited her to the to the retreat or whatever the hell.
Yeah.
And
When he does that, he's just like, oh. They're just like,
weren't supposed to ask her.
yeah.
Now I gotta go.
Guy's trip.
I'm on a roll.
You Burposaurus today.
Please. And then, but this guy is just terrible in every which way. He's just evil.
Well,
like,
he just
doesn't
wants
give a fuck.
Yeah, he's just greedy. He wants the money. He's Mr. Krabs.
Yeah.
Mr. Krabs.
And this crab's kind of nice, but this guy's the worst. But you know, he's not really caring for her because she's a robot, which is like when we watch movies of animals.
Mm-hmm.
Most people that watch a movie of an animal, if an animal gets hurt, it's mayhem, chaos. We watch people die in movies constantly, and it doesn't affect us at all. He's kind of treating her like, you know, because animals are like here.
Yeah.
That's God, it's us, and then animals. So he's kind of treating her like, you know, an animal, which in a situation like that, I'm not saying we would be greedy, but like, fuck the robot.
It's like taking advantage of like you're viewing it as like lower than you, so then you just take advantage of it. And also she's gonna she's programmed to love him no matter what. Yeah.
Oh, when she said the line that like got me, that we were like laughing about, because this is sort of like a dark comedy, when she goes, his hands were around my throat, but the thought of losing you hurt way more than that, or something like that. And I was like, oh dang,
Jesus,
damn.
Some
girls.
I do remember that.
I like that.
God.
But what I'm saying is, we were so on the side of her that we like hated him. But in reality, if we were in that situation, we'd be like, all right, we'll fucking toss the robot in the trash.
Yeah.
But the movie is, you're siding with we're siding with the computers on this one.
Because that's what Kat was saying the whole time. Like, all right, just shut her down. He's like, wait, I just want to say goodbye one last time.
Yeah, well, that's what screwed him up.
And she's just like, who cares? Just freaking do it. He's like, stop saying that in front of the robot. Because, she
can hear you.
She's too, like, similar, like, too close to us, which is so weird.
Well, we end up learning that he, like, hacked the system to, like, tweak it. That's why she knows. And he was like, when she wakes up and he's telling her what's the deal, she's like, I remember going to college and all this stuff. And you're like, oh, that's so strange.
Oh, my God.
Like, she has memories, and he's like, that wasn't real.
Ooh. That's like, that kind of reminds me of, there's the Black Mirror episode where they pass away, and then you have two options. You could pass away naturally, or you could upload your consciousness to the computer and live in a fantasy world. Like that, I don't know. It sounds kind of along those lines, you know. It's just like a weird thought to have.
So strange. Yeah, this is more of a sci-fi than horror.
Is that
because it wasn't really
Junipero,
scary?
maybe? That might be that episode.
I thought it could have been the one with John Hamm too, because I feel like there's a lot of white in that. I don't know. Those early ones were really good. Mm-hmm. They're just like, they're so thought-provoking. But yeah, so I said to you, I think maybe like 3/4 of the way through in the theater, I was like, I think this is a movie about domestic relationships or like abusive relationships, because she says one line, and I don't really remember it, but she was like, I'm not just your robot or something like that. And immediately I was like, oh, bam, that's like, because the way she's dressed, I read somewhat of an article on Rotten Tomatoes, and she's like very cookie cutter and robotic and dressed perfect.
Yeah.
You know, with the headband and like her eyeliner and her like cutesy like 50s clothes.
Yeah, she did have like an old school vibe to her.
Yeah.
Like
50s on the beach.
That what is that? That nuclear family kind of look.
Right.
100%.
Because there's a lot of you know, nowadays there's a lot of negative looks on that time period. Because you have shows like Mad Men where they just like cheat on each other and they drink during the day and they like hit their wives. I don't know if it was like that back then. I mean, I doubt it.
Yeah,
I'm sure it was.
Yeah, I'm sure.
For sure. There was definitely, like, my grandma would tell me stories at work. They would, like, you know, say something, you know, snarky to her, or like sexual harassment wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, shut the fuck up, you know?
My God.
Like,
jeez.
So there was definitely, you know, that back then, but, you know, there's definitely positive aspects to it.
Yeah, I think perhaps maybe back then too, people were so focused on having the American dream, the perfect family, that like if you weren't that, you know, that's when things got bad.
Oh yeah.
You know?
Well, like when we were talking about when we did the Nosferatu review, it was like you're 25 and you're not married with kids.
Yeah.
She's a witch.
She's
Get her out of here.
She belongs to the devil.
And it's similar to 1950s, I guess.
Yeah. Then when she was younger, she's exploring her sexuality. The devil.
Yeah. I mean, no wonder why the 70s were like the youth, like revolution.
Yeah.
Against authority. It's like, you surprised?
Yeah.
They did this?
Hippies came in the 60s, and then it was full throttle after that. Like,
right.
Yeah.
Well, the Vietnam War, they protested, which I agree. It was nonsense war, but it's like, religion, this and this and that, and like living by, strict values are good, but if it was too strict, no wonder why they rebelled.
Yeah. And then you hear like a lot of stories back then, too, I feel like, of people portraying that they're going to church and all this stuff, but then meanwhile, back at home, they're just like hitting their wives and whatnot.
It was definitely, I've worked at various country clubs, and it's all fake, and it's all competition.
Yeah.
Just the way they talk, and I'm like, none of you are real.
Yeah.
It's like I have a, bigger car, or I have a bigger house, and stuff like that. So, yeah, you never knew what was going on close to those doors. But yeah, like, it's cool how we're on the side of the robot. I mean, there are movies where we're on the side of, like, I like the Joker in Dark Knight.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And we see his side, and you always have a good take of like how he's similar to Batman.
Yeah, so similar. I mean,
They
they both. You could deal with trauma in many different ways, and one of them does it for good, the other one does it for bad.
Right.
So.
And in Star Wars, like
Same thing.
When we were younger, we're
right
basically Episode 3 saying,
"Well, then you are lost."
"Oh my God, the dark side's terrible," and then that whole Star Wars theory video, and then you're like, what's with the Jedi?
Yeah.
Are they... Well, they didn't listen to Anakin, and they just are like, your thoughts betray you.
In my eyes, the Jedi are evil.
Yeah. Well, then you are lost!
Qui-Gon
wouldn't have said that. But yeah, it's cool that we're on the side of the robot. And it's similar to Ex Machina.
Yeah, 100%.
Because, spoiler alert, fast forward if you haven't seen it, but most of the movie you are on the side of the redhead guy and the robot, and the other guy's a dick, but he knows what's up. He's like, don't get too close, and you're like,
do it.
No, but she's different. And at the end, he's like, fuck, I tell you.
Look what I said.
But you just get
out there.
You get so wrapped up. That's really good writing.
Yeah. And she does such a good job of coaxing him into eventually being like, just let me out. Like, it'll be fine. Everything will be good.
I'm good.
Be all peachy. I'm not going to stab anybody. Why would I do that?
But at the end, she, like, gets her hair, and then she just... right in the middle of, like, Manhattan.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Like, foot traffic.
That's weird. Very scary.
That's a robot. No one knows. They're just going back to
They're out there right now.
They could be. Never know.
Or the lizard people. Running our government.
That's, they're in Davos, Switzerland. They're at the World Economic Forum. They're all lizard people. That's what Tucker Carlson called them.
Oh, really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
The lizard people.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson. That's funny.
One of the guys, his father was a Nazi, the German guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And he, like, runs the thing. You're like, that's normal.
The other crazy thing, too, is that the gay guy also has a robot, too. And the whole time, I didn't really see anything too crazy. However, at the dinner that one night, they were like, Iris and the gay guy's robot, before we knew he was a robot, they both were like, when did you know that, like, and then they both say pretty much the same thing, right? Like, almost like right away or whatever. And
I did do that, that Halloween party scene.
Oh, yeah.
That was actually, like, pretty comedic.
Yeah.
But, he was like, the second I looked in your eyes, and you just think you're like, oh, that's a love at first sight type deal.
Yeah.
And then she was like, I felt the same way. And then she gives like that really good emotional monologue.
Yeah.
And you really feel for her, and you're like, you just like want to give her a hug.
Yeah.
And dude, the funniest scene is when they bang, and then she's like, what did she say? Something like, I love you, whatever. And he's like, all right, go to bed.
Go to bed.
Crack me up. He's like, yeah.
Yep. Go to bed, Iris.
She's like, she got nothing out of that.
No. Yeah.
But then now when you look back at it, you're like, this is a sex robot or a sex doll.
Crazy.
Yeah. And
that's literally what she would say too. I'm not just your sex robot.
But I like how in the movie they give like little breadcrumbs. So then the second viewing, you could pick up on it. Like I was saying to you when we left the theater, how he was like, "What's the temperature outside?" And she was like, 72 degrees with the chance of blah blah blah. And you're like, "Oh, like she sounds like a real weather woman." He's like, "Oh, it never gets old." But you just think like she's got like a cool impression of a meteorologist.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait, she's giving the weather as a robot.
I really didn't think anything of of that either. The only thing I thought was like, I was like, when she goes to walk to the beach, I was like, huh, she looks very stiff.
And I said to you, I go, she's like a robot.
Yeah, and then I was like, yeah, I know, I've noticed that too. It's kind of weird. She's just so upright. I'm like, ugh, gross. Loosen up. I thought she just was like nervous, and, like awkward.
But that's like perfect how the way it was written was she's really nervous to meet his friends, and you're like, man, she's like really nervous because you could tell it's like she's got a lot of like really intimate feelings, and she's like very nervous and introverted.
Yeah.
And then you're like, wait, she's a fucking robot.
Yeah. And he even said, "Oh, Iris, you waited all the way until we got to the front door to start telling me like all this about how nervous you are and stuff."
Yeah. And the scene when she kills the Russian guy is funny because she like can't comprehend that like there's another man with her right now, and he's not in the like. It's almost like she's about to malfunction because she's so programmed to love him that it's like that's why she was like, I'd rather the thought of losing you was worse.
Yeah. Do you think Sergei knew she was a robot? I don't know. Maybe he knew, and that's why he was just so aggressive. He was like, "Oh, this thing's not gonna give a damn."
Yeah, true. And I think he might have said something like, "He knows about it" or something.
He said, "Oh, Kat said it was fine."
Right. Because they're not in a real relationship. It was because she was dating him for his money.
Yeah, and Kat's probably just like, "Yeah, it's a freaking robot. I don't really give a damn."
Right.
Like it's not gonna be that great or anything.
I wonder if it's funny too, because this is similar to Nosferatu when Count Orlok, the sex scene at the end. I got jealous for Thomas.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if I didn't feel it this way, but I wonder if people viewing it were like got jealous for him when they were like doing the. I mean, it wasn't Iris's like she didn't want it to happen. He was taking advantage of her, but. That movie, he's a vampire. This one, she's a robot.
Yeah,
isn't that funny?
Well, yeah, definitely.
Like if you're in a relationship and like a guy hits on you and then your girlfriend gets jealous, like it's like, well, it's a guy.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So I think that's like pretty funny.
Yeah, with Orlok, I felt it a lot. Like,
oh my god.
Because it seemed like a bigger, stronger guy, kind of. It was
right.
Weird.
So yeah, I guess that was their plan the whole time, and it's so funny how the plan gets so messy, and it's just like greed never really gets you that far. But going back to when you were talking about the gay guy and him, they actually like loved each other.
Yeah, they seemed very into it,
which is it's also a play on. There's a funny. I just watched this movie, What Happens in Vegas. It's a funny movie with Ashton Kutcher and Cameron Diaz, and the judge. This movie's like 2006. Like they're fighting over money, and the judge goes, "Gay people aren't a threat to marriage. You people are. Look at you. You're all greedy and stuff like that." And I kind of like think of this similar to that, where it's like. He's a robot, but they're a happy couple. You people are greedy and just like messy, and you kill the Russian guy, and then she was like, oh, he's not even a Russian mobster. You made that up. I just didn't correct you.
Yeah.
And he's like, you fucking kidding me?
And then also they with the gay guy's robot, they were like, we're not splitting it 4 ways, and then that's when you found out he had like his boyfriend was a robot, which was crazy because they got rid of Sergei, and then all of a sudden they were like, yeah, we're not splitting it 4 ways. And he's like, oh, honey, go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, stop saying that in front of him. That was so funny. Because I was like, why wouldn't they split it 4 ways? And then, honey, go to sleep.
I thought he was saying that because it was like, we'll split it 3 ways because we're one.
Yeah, I know.
Like, we're
I thought
married.
that too. But then he was like, wait, no, we'll give some to him.
Be a robot.
And then, he's like, what do you mean?
Do you think that because when you're like, the
Burposaurus.
Herposaurus. Speaking of the guy in the dinosaur outfit, the blonde hair guy, he was in You. If you guys know about that show, he's like a blonde haired guy, like pretty, like built, and the gay guy is like a lot fatter, and maybe he was having bad luck, and he's gay, which is harder.
That's what I'm sure.
He's like, oh, I'm gonna just I'll make this robot fall in love with me.
Heck yeah.
But then they have like an actual, relationship, and it's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Sneezosaurus. Bless you.
Burps and sneezes today.
What else? What else did you like? Maybe not like about the movie. I mean, I just thought it was a good movie.
It's entertaining for sure.
Yeah, and I don't think all sci-fi / thriller movies need to be like out of this world.
Yeah.
It gave a good surprise. It's got a clever storyline.
Yeah. People did walk out of the theater that one time.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I think as soon as she turned into a robot, they just were like, ugh, like this is just too. I don't get it.
That was my favorite part.
Meanwhile, it's like
Give it a sec.
Meanwhile, it's like we're not really that far from this. Like,
yeah,
we have AI that can talk to us and act like whoever we want it to be.
Also, the Terminator came out in like the 80s.
Yeah.
So what's the difference?
Yeah.
And Blade Runner.
It is funny though that like, I think that I think also that might have to do with the fact that, like, back in the day when there were robot movies, let's say, like, they were seen as just, like, evil and, like, they just try to take over humans. But these were, like robots with emotions, and they acted exactly like humans, which is interesting. Which I think that's what, like, after a little bit, that's what kind of just made me bring any score I had, like, down. Because, like, all of a sudden it's, like, I did keep reminding myself, oh yeah, we're following these robots, like, and then that's what would kind of make me be like, like this is funny, but like every once in a while I'd be like, oh yeah, they're robots. Right. But you do feel for them.
But I was gonna say, wouldn't you argue that like that makes it more interesting because you're relating that much to a robot, and you're like dismissing the human, but the human is doing what humans do.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely interesting, but I for some reason my brain just kept going, oh yeah, they're robots.
Yeah.
And I think that's like eventually like, it's just them like chasing them, and I'm like, all right, like I don't know what else I needed. I don't have an answer or anything. I just all of a sudden was like halfway through, I'm like, all right,
you wanted a little more.
Let's wrap it up, or I don't know. I don't even know what I was looking for.
Yeah, I think it dragged on a bit.
Yeah.
Because then he makes the blonde-haired guy. Like, he programs him.
Yeah.
So then that's a good reminder that it's, they're just robots.
Yeah. Perhaps, I don't know. Sometimes comedy throws me off if it's, like, horror and comedy put together.
Well, I feel the same with, like, Avengers and comedy.
Yeah.
Like, the first Thor was pretty solid. The second one was directed by Kenneth Branagh, so it was super slow and darker.
Yeah, I like that.
And then the third one was Comedy Fest. And it's so silly. Yeah. And I don't like it at all.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
And they keep making Avengers movies. I'm like, all right, I'm done.
Because I've always said that too. Like, oh, there's all this like shenanigans going on. Buildings are falling apart. In reality, people are probably dying as well. And that they're like, whoa, that was a close one. That classic joke.
Yeah. Oh, there goes the Empire State Building.
Yeah, like
that's gonna cost another $1 billion.
And yeah, so I feel like sometimes that maybe throws me off. I don't know.
Yeah, I get it.
But it was still good. Like I said, it was entertaining for sure.
It's amazing to think back, like how he's like the main guy, Jack Quaid, is a like Machiavellian type, where it's like
ghosties.
Yep. He'll like do whatever is necessary to get what he wants. Like he just reprograms the guy's boyfriend.
Yeah.
And you're like, you are a sicko.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I guess he's
a robot.
He really doesn't think like anything of them. He's just like, yeah. I mean, they're literally just a sex robot, and he probably just hates himself because that's what Iris says to him.
She nails it.
She's like, this is why you're with me. Like, you're trying to put me down, but this is why I'm here in the first place, because you're a loser.
Yeah.
You're a freaking loser. So, like, the only way to make himself feel better is to be like, all right, if I get all this money, then I'll feel a lot better, and I could change my life. I'll probably get more women. I'll get, like, cars, fancy house, like, all this stuff, and my life will change. And
reminds me of somebody.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
But he,
Mr. Krabs.
yeah, and yeah, because it's and when you were talking about how the old robotic movies, they were just like seen as evil. That's kind of like a theory of aliens. Like, who's to say they like look like that and that they would automatically be bad?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, they would try to destroy us. Why? Who said that?
Yeah.
Don't you think they would have by now?
Also, if they're willing to travel billions of light years to get here, maybe there's more to it than that's just that.
Yeah.
Because early depictions of robots and sure whatever other sci-fi stuff, aliens, is just more animalistic behavior. They're just kind of like acting off of
Instinct.
instinct and like the robots like in Terminator 2, they just like march in place and then they're just like trying to kill everybody. And I've actually never seen Terminator. I know what they look like.
There are a lot of movies where I just like
That doesn't
Terminator,
interest me,
E.T.
yeah, it's
Don't
funny.
really E.T.
My mom
Don't.
scolds me for not liking E.T. I've never seen it, but like I just know like I'm like
I don't care about a kid and a freaking.
yeah.
Bleh.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up.
E.T. photo.
Yeah, cool. Like, I don't even really like the Goonies. Sorry.
And that bicycle would never fly in real life.
Get the fuck out of here with that bicycle.
The E.T. ride is fun though in Disney or Orlando. It's nice. It's good.
Cool.
It's cool. You're flying on a bike.
You just go.
And then the police come after you or whatever.
Um,
And I'm like, come on, E.T. You coming with me? You got it. Get in the basket.
what was the what happens at the end? So they
Shoot her in the head, but then it don't work
shoot her in the head. It doesn't work because it's not a human.
because all of her stuff's down here.
Right, and then they fight. Oh, the best scene. And I said to you during the movie, I was like, I like how there's a lot of electronic stuff. It's very futuristic. The whole house is very futuristic, and at the end, she kills him with the wine opener. That's like the last couple of years is like a new thing where you just press the button and it pops it out, and it's not old fashioned. And I was like, oh, that's so awesome. She's like, it's like her, how do you want to say it?
Like reprogramming us.
No. It's that and
Our computers.
this is her teammate.
Oh yeah. I could see that.
It's electronic.
Yeah.
This helped her out at the end. Humans didn't like that.
What did she say? She says the same thing that he said.
Fuck.
I remember you going, oh yeah.
Oh, go to sleep.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yeah,
I think?
probably.
Yeah. Go to sleep. Yeah. So he dies at the end, but it was cool because before that, the cops when they had whose body? Hers. Yeah, when they had her body. He was like giving up the fake story, and he's such a terrible liar. It's so obvious.
Oh, the robot. When the gay
he's
guy's
sitting on
robot boyfriend.
No. At the end,
pretending to be the
when
cop?
the two, not the cops, the two.
The guys who work for the company.
Yeah, that's what I meant. My mistake. And he's sitting on the stairs. He's like, oh, and he's like lying through his teeth, and it's so obvious.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, we'll just, we have cameras in there, and we'll just see what happens.
Oh
He's
my
like,
God.
is that really necessary? It's like, yeah, boy, of course it is. And then you're like, fuck you. So then she kills him at the end, and then, she drives away. And she has her, and it's so cool, too, because, and this was my theory, is like, I'm pretty sure it's right, of domestic relationships, because at the end, she's driving next to a car, and there's a guy screaming at a wife.
Oh, yeah.
And then she's just like, I'm in this car, I'm free, I escaped my relationship, you're still in yours. And then she looks over and she waves at her. She's like,
and she has like the hand that's like not
right, because she's like, I'm embracing who I am now.
Yeah.
But I think she had blood on her.
But
But it was really cool because it was like a heroic freedom ride for her to be like, I just escaped this terrible domestic relationship, and I got blood on me. Like now I'm free, but she's a robot.
I was also thinking to myself like, how do we know that this woman that's being yelled at in the other car isn't a robot? Because what if it's like becomes like such a thing to have like in the future, And then I was thinking like, because when she waves, I don't remember how the other woman reacts though.
She was like weirded out.
Oh, okay, so maybe she's not, but
well, maybe she doesn't know what. If you're a robot, you don't
what's
know
inside her.
Well, she didn't know she was a robot.
Oh yeah.
But it could be, because this thing is like, it's like actual company.
Yeah.
But it's similar to The Witch when she is naked with her other witch friends.
Yeah.
But she escapes her close-knit, strict family, and
Yeah.
she's able to just go. This one, she's just, like,
free.
riding away.
She's free.
They're free now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of these, like, thriller horror movies of, like female empowerment and, like, their fight for, freedom from either oppressive family or oppressive, relationship.
Yeah.
I mean, Nosferatu, The Witch, Midsummer, this movie. Like, you can argue with a lot of these movies.
Yeah. The other ones were more time period sensitive, but this one's more of a, I guess, something that could happen, even today.
Right? Yeah.
Interesting.
But anyway, so she wins in the end, which is great. Yeah,
we actually get a happy ending for once, kind of.
Yeah, after some craziness.
Usually in movies we watch, it's either neutral or no one wins.
Right, which is good. But this one, I think it's like pretty satisfying. How did Barbarian end?
They kill Mother.
Yeah, she puts.
Mother.
Doesn't she grab her hand?
Yeah.
And
she kills the beast or whatever, and then she goes to the police, I believe.
So she like ends up getting free, but not after like going through some craziness. But she has like, doesn't she end up? I don't know if she likes the mother, but she has like some sort of connection to her.
The mother
she
was
feels
trying
bad
to
for
take
her.
care of her because
Baby.
Yeah, she was missing a baby or whatever.
See, that's another similar thing where it's like that guy trapped that woman in the basement for like 30 years, and she can relate to her because she's like, that wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to be a mother. And now she was able to escape by like getting killed. She was like, I'm out of here. And I think the guy dies in the end. And then
what's his name? Justin Long. He falls off the water tower.
Well, him too.
Well,
but
you're saying the original guy.
The old guy.
Yeah.
So so she gets free.
Justin Long shoots him or something, or he shoots himself. He shoots himself.
Here's an interesting thing: 3 women were freed in that movie. Justin Long dies, so the girl that he sexually assaulted or raped, she's free of him now because he's dead. Georgina, the main girl, is free from Justin Long and the mother, I guess, or the whole chaos of it, and then the mother she's free from it because she's dead. I don't know. I see similarities. Like
I know
this and Barbarian, they both like. I think it's happy endings, positive.
Because also the cops don't listen to the main chick in Mother.
Right.
They're just like, what are you talking about? Everyone here's a crack addict.
Yeah.
We're not going to listen to you. Also, you're a woman.
Right.
I'm sure is what they have in the back of their head, or what's portrayed in that movie, or trying to be portrayed.
Yeah, you're a hysterical woman. Like, what do we care?
Yeah.
So yeah, very similar to Barbarian, and just in a lot of ways. But overall, I liked it. I'm probably going like, I mean, I didn't love it. I liked it. I think I liked it maybe a little more than you. Maybe like 7-9. What was that?
I'll give it a 7.4.
Nice.
7.4.
Yeah.
7.4.
Not going in the 8s, but
solid. I think it'd be fun to watch, like, especially with friends and stuff, or someone that's not like crazy into horror, but like you can convince them to watch a horror movie because it's funny. There's comedic relief in it, which isn't too bad. And maybe it's a little thought provoking to think that, like, we're pretty close to perhaps this happening at some point. There could be a company that creates these things. It looks exactly like how an Apple would be set up or anything,
Sure.
So,
but like, you can explain it to everyday layman moviegoers. It's like, it's a little thought provoking. You could use that. Whereas like Nosferatu and
like,
Smile, you got to think about it for hours.
There's a lot of deeper meanings and themes and stuff.
Which is what we're here for.
So,
But I saw somebody on Rotten Tomatoes compare it to The Menu. Not in like, it's just, there's stuff that goes on. There's twist. It's good. It's entertaining. It's not bad. It's not amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't see The Menu, but sure. Take your word for it.
Okay. So, talking to him like he knew what it was. You should see it. It's
Usually
good.
I see every horror movie.
You should see it. It's entertaining. There's twist. It's good.
And it's good.
Yeah.
Thought provoking.
That's it. 7974 Companion 2025 review. That is a wrap. Comment, like, subscribe. Let us know what you think. Let us know what we should watch next. Check out our other reviews. on the channel. We're also on TikTok and Instagram.
Yes, sir.
Way Sauce out.
Good night, San Diego.